The gift of enough is letting go of whatever compulsion I need to be somebody I think I'm not. And as long as that's there, I will be driven, literally driven. There's an urgency to my spirit. Years ago when I lived in Southern California, I spent time every month at a Benedictine monastery. I had a spiritual director there, but I would go every month for 3 days. And I spent time because I wanted to learn how to be alone with myself and like it, because I wasn't very good at that. And I wanted to learn how to be alone with God and like it, because I wasn't very good at that either. And part of the thing about not being very good at it is we assume there's an assignment or a test you have to pass. See, that already is a red flag right there. I assume there's a test I have to pass. Anyway, so one time I had a friend visiting at the Benedictine monastery, and at lunch, he had never been to a monastery. So his first time meeting monks. So we're at lunch, and he says to one of the monks, he said, "So, what do you guys do here?" Father Luke said, "We pray." And my friend said, "No, really. What do you actually do?" And Father Luke said, "It is enough just to pray." There's the interesting thing about the "it is enough." When I internalize that, the "it is enough," I set down, I put down whatever I have weaponized to make me okay. There's an extraordinary thing about the gift there. It is enough. Father had a 3-year-old daughter, and she was at that age where she was old enough to wrap her own Christmas presents. Any parent will get this story. And she didn't want help. And he was in charge of helping her on Christmas Eve, and she was cutting the paper. She didn't want help. I can do it myself. And she would cut big sheaths of paper and throw it away, et cetera. And so he was already feeling like he was wasting a lot of money. And he was tired, and he snapped a little bit, said, "Honey, come on, let's do this. And you're wasting paper, et cetera." And so, Daddy. So she finally finishes it. Nice gold box, a nice box with gold paper under the tree. She goes to sleep. He apologizes. "I'm sorry, honey. Daddy was a little tired." The next morning, Christmas morning, he gets up, and guess what? That gold box is actually for him, her present for him. He opens the gold paper, opens the box, and it's empty. Of course, he snaps again and says, "Honey, I'm glad for the gift, but it's time to teach you a lesson. It's not nice to give people empty presents. It's important that when you give somebody, you give something." And she began to cry, and she said, "Oh, Daddy, it wasn't empty. I filled it with kisses right before I sealed it up, I promise. Just for the times you would need one." The man who told me that story, I was in his office, and guess what he has on his desk? An empty box, which is not really empty at all. The extraordinary gift of that story is that we give ourselves so much grief for missing the moment, but here's the power of enough, that there is enough in what appears to us to be empty boxes. The thing about that there is enough is that I can walk into this. See, if there's not enough, I'm assuming something else has to take place. I'm assuming that something else has to be done or redone. And I'm unable to accept the kisses when I get them.